Welcome, Mooncat viewers. This is an animal spirit guide reading for the month of March. As we're coming into spring and life is reawakening, it felt right at this time to bring forth our animal spirit guides and see what advice they have at this moment in time. So I've spoken of animal spirit guides before, and there are many different ways that you have animal spirits that are with you and supporting you. Now, so let's talk about that a little bit. If you understand animal spirit guides already and wish to move forward to your selection, you can do that. There are timestamps in the video below. We have some animal spirit guides that are with us from the moment we're born, much like our guardian angels. These spirit guides are part of our makeup, are what makes us who we are. They will be associated with your time of birth. Your birth totem is a lot like having an astrological sign. It is that guiding spirit for those born under a certain time. You also have messenger spirits. These animal spirit guides walk with you through your earth walk as they are needed. And then they will leave as they are no longer needed, as their lessons are acquired and learned. They may return if you need to recycle those lessons. But as a messenger leaves, another messenger will come in. So there are some that are with us for life, and some that come and go as they are needed. There's also animal spirit guides associated to your personality or your particular spiritual bent. So that is going to be known more by sensing and feeling what they are. These are going to be animals that you're powerfully attracted to, animals that are extremely intriguing to you. And you'll notice yourself taking an interest in a particular animal as it becomes a messenger for you because it enters into your energetic field. So all things in creation vibrate at their own frequency, and this is true of the animals as well. So when you are able to bring in a particular animal, it's because you have that frequency within yourself. There are also animals that are with us sometimes because an animal that we have cared for or loved has passed on. And then that animal spirit is with you, still keeping you company as your companion, still sending you love, and also helping you and guiding you through life. So today we have here on the table 4 animals to choose from. And you can choose whichever one is drawing you, whatever you are feeling a powerful draw towards. So number 1, we have the jaguar. Number 2, we have the bear. Number 3, we have the otter. And option number 4, we have the whale. And now I've placed a stone with each card as well, as the energy of the stone may also help to draw you in. Take a moment to consider which animal appeals most to you. And if there is more than one, then that is okay. You can choose more than one card. You can even choose all 4. I'm going to give you a moment now to make your selection. For those of you who chose the Jaguar, this is your reading. Let's begin with the stone. The stone that was selected with the Jaguar is blue apatite. And this is a stone of manifestation. But most importantly, it's about manifesting your psychic abilities. It's tuning to your spiritual gifts and deepening your ability to communicate spiritually and to deepen your state of meditation. So it is about bringing out and working with your spiritual gifts. Jaguar at one point was deified. This was a godlike being who had come from the stars to lead the Maya to prosperity. And it was meant to be a golden era, a time of spiritual understanding, love, integrity, impeccability, and the power of compassion. But within the Mayan culture, these ideas became perverted, became the idea of ripping out the human heart as a sacrifice. But this was seen from the great Jaguar spirit as dishonorable behavior. And so the Jaguar is tasked with devouring the unclean aspects of human behavior. As a teacher, Jaguar tells us that there are consequences when our behavior is not in alignment with personal integrity. And the Jaguar challenges us to walk through life in an impeccable manner. This means always walking in alignment with your truth and in alignment with the highest spiritual vibrations. And so we're speaking of being in that place of love and compassion, being in that place of that, like that golden light of the spiritual understanding and the teachings of love. So there could be that Jaguar is coming to you now because you have successfully done this, because you have been walking with integrity in your life, and you have held to your values, and you have done so in difficult times. And so Jaguar is here to tell you that you are being rewarded because you did this. You maintained your integrity and your quiet dignity and strength. There was some test that you have passed. There's some where you could have easily gone a different way, a darker way, but you maintained your integrity. And for this, there are great rewards coming your way. Even as you're rewarded, you're also reminded to do not falter. Continue on in your resolve to be your personal best at all times. Now, this is a high challenge, because who among us hasn't lost their temper driving through traffic or just in a difficult situation, or gotten angry at the computer when it's not working right? But rise to the challenge. Rise to the challenge to be your personal best at all times. Remember your personal dignity. Personal integrity and honesty. This rising above, it doesn't mean being perfect. It doesn't mean that you're above others or that you're some perfect example of a human being. It allows for mistakes and embraces forgiveness for those mistakes. And so, should you find yourself in a moment of losing your temper, it's okay that has happened, but make sure it is a lesson that you're learning from. Make sure that you're taking from that how to improve that situation, how to make it better. Forgiveness includes self-forgiveness. And so here the Jaguar is also reminding you of this fierce and powerful inner spirit that you have. And it's reminding you to reclaim your true power. The Jaguar is a very powerful totem and also a very ancient one. Like any large cat, it's known for its ferocity and its skilled ability to hunt. So there is some aggressiveness and this power in the makeup of the animal itself and the physical form of the creature. When you want to understand how a totem relates to you, you look at the characteristics of the animal in its life, in its natural life. Okay. And even amongst the the large cats, such as lions or tigers, the jaguar is especially fierce. They have over 500 voluntary muscles that they use at will. So if you think about that, what it's reflecting is an ability to do a variety of tasks according to your will. So there is a certain freedom here, a certain free will here of choosing your path. You can do well at many things. As long as you decide to dedicate those particular muscles. So that could mean physically, mentally, psychically, or spiritually. Just remember, these are all just really energies that need to be exercised and used in order to be developed. Jaguars do tend to be solitary. They're very comfortable by themselves in their own marked territory. So there is great power in silence. When you are pursuing your goals, there is great power in kind of keeping that information to yourself. If you reveal too much or speak too much about it beforehand, that can actually counteract your effectiveness. Jaguars are very good at sprinting, but they're not good at long distance running. And so you can think of that like learning how to pace your day, learning how to pace your work. You're going to need that time of rest between activities, time of play between activities. And it's good to understand this about yourself and to know that that's how you work best, which means pushing yourself on and on and on and on is not the right way for you to manage your energy. Working in that way for you would create an imbalance. But if there's a valuable side to this kind of energy, which is that you have an ability to respond very quickly to whatever is happening in your environment. And this means working well under deadlines or pressures. Okay, so let's talk about how the stone and the jaguar are interrelated. So you remember that we said that the stone is talking about working with your spiritual powers. Well, those who have jaguar in their totem, those who have Jaguar in their spiritual energy field, this indicates that you're already spiritually active or awakened. The lights are already on. So you are ready to use and apply those abilities, and you're ready to start trusting them and applying them to your life in the world. It is likely, thinking about how jaguars use their ears, it is likely that if you're working with Jaguar energy, that you have clear audience. Clear audience is the ability to hear communications, either from those who have passed on or from other dimensions or other life forms. So pay attention to what you're hearing internally, as you'll be able to recognize when that information is coming from outside of yourself. An interesting fact about the jaguar is that they have extremely sensitive hairs on their body. And so this indicates also a sensitivity to touch. So you'll find that you're very sensorily sensitive. The word was escaping me for a moment. Psychometry. Psychometry is the ability to touch an object and read information about the person who has touched it before you, or where that object has been, or what has occurred around it. So that is another type of spiritual power that you may try and test in the world. You're going to feel very sensitive to touch. So we also want to talk about defensiveness, and this is it's a little difficult to talk about for me. I don't like the violence of nature sometimes, and yet these are traits. These are parts of this animal, and they must be acknowledged. And so when we speak of the jaguar, they are very powerful hunters. They have such power that they will just bite right through the temporal bones of the skull. And they've even been known to just take the heads right off of other animals. They can do that with a single swipe of their claw. So we're talking immense strength and power here. Those who have jaguar energy have a great deal of sensitivity, but they also have a great deal of power, and they will know instinctively how best to attack if they are put in a position where they need to do that. And they can do it very swiftly and very lethally when they are responding to anger. So it is especially important to unleash that anger when it is truly appropriate and has truly been earned. It is one of the drawbacks of the jaguar energy that with such strength and power and incisiveness, it would be very easy to wound people deeper than you mean to. Jaguar is also a symbol of awakening to the heroic quest, as of Greek myth. There's a there is an idea that within the story of man, we experience life to find our way back to divinity. So when Panther enters your life, that means you're ready to be led on this path, wandering back towards the light and the love, but wandering back, being led back towards divinity. So it represents, or it heralds, a new turn in your heroic path, in the story, your personal heroic story. You may have heard of the hero with 1,000 faces from Joseph Campbell. We relate to the story of the hero so well because we are the hero in our own lives. We all wear the mask of the hero. And so this is what we're talking about with the hero's journey here. So it's more than just coming into your own power. It's also about reclaiming what was lost. And reclaiming what has been lost. From the full potential of your power. And so that is increasing an almost intimate connection with the archetypal force. And so there is an imminent rebirth, which is, again, taking you down that path. So you're at this time with that blue apatite stone and with the Jaguar card, there's a strong confirmation here of you awakening into a spiritual path, awakening into a spiritual gift, and something that is leading you into a new direction. That's going to be very meaningful for you. That's going to reconnect you not only to the truth of who you are, but the greater truth of your divinity, as we are all aspects of the divine. All right, I'm going to pull some tarot cards here just to get a sense of how this Jaguar energy is applying to your life right now. And I'm using Spiritsong Tarot to draw the cards. See if we can give you a good look at those cards there. Okay. So looking at the cards here, I'm seeing a story of the pathway ahead, or the pathway that you're on, and where it's leading you. And so we begin here with the Emperor energy. And here we see another large cat. So there's a similar energy here. Okay, the keywords here are focus and stability. And so we begin from this place where we strengthen our foundations and recall our truth. And that helps us being prepared moving forward. Now the horse in the King of Acorns is all about moving forward. Keywords being optimism and innovation. Horses might make you think of the Chariot card, and that would be quite true. This is about horses always represent spiritually free will. And the idea of running free. And so from a secure and foundational place, you are ready to launch. You're ready, filled with all this optimism to forge ahead with whatever task you are given, and to forge ahead with all this powerful connection to the spirit, to your spirit and the divine. I see that represented in these kind of energetic and auric fields surrounding the horse here. And there's all this powerful connection to divine energy. Okay, so launching into your spiritual development is going to be it's going to be faster than most. But remember too what we said about the Jaguar being good at sprinting, but not so much at a long distance run. And so what you're probably going to do is find yourself growing in spurts, where you're making great leaps of advantages, and then you need a break, and then you make another great leaps of an advantage, and leaps forward in your position, and then you need another break and rest. And just remember to honor that for yourself. This is a shadow card showing the coyote here. Coyote being the trickster, as our shadow does often trick our ego into thinking it can't, or to thinking that it's unworthy or small. Being able to recognize and conquer the shadow leaves you self-empowered and able to follow your ambition. And so that is why those keywords are part of this card. So as you're charging forward with all this optimism, this moment where you're beginning the path and you're forging your way through the jungle, you're forging your way ahead spiritually. As you're doing that, then you're conquering shadow energy, allowing yourself to be self-empowered and to follow your true ambitions. And when this is in union, then you have successful completion. You're rising up on a spiritual level. You're raising up to another dimension. This is the world card, fulfillment and celebration. But in this context, in this picture of things, what it's saying is that you're moving on into higher spiritual vibrational existence. And finally, we see that your success brings you to High Priestess energy. The High Priestess is an adept who stands between heaven and earth and joins them together. This is keywords intuition and sacred knowledge. The High Priestess, is extremely knowledgeable of the spiritual world and very sensitive to it. She's also a guide, a teacher, one of wisdom, a person of wisdom. And Scholarship is also indicated by this card. And so you'll want to pick up books on spiritual topics, learn what you can of esoteric knowledge, and remember that the High Priestess is a kind of guardian of this knowledge who knows with whom to share it and with whom to work together to understand it more. And so you're coming into a very high spiritual position within the earthly realm here. Okay, so it looks like your path ahead is filled with this greatly rewarding development of your spiritual side. And so definitely you'll want to be pursuing that. Okay, this concludes the Jaguar reading, and I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please like, share, subscribe. These things help my channel to grow. The more people that I can share messages with, the more likely I am to be helping someone who truly needs it. So if you can help me to help the community, I greatly appreciate that. If you're interested in more of my videos, you can see them on my channel. And the link to my channel is in the description below the video. If you would like a deeper, more personal reading, then you can go to my Calendly page, and that link is also in the description below, and use the Calendly page to schedule a reading. Most of all, I feel very grateful that I was able to get this message out today to you who need to hear it. So thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you in another video. For those of you who chose card number 2 or Bear, this is your reading. And we'll start by considering the stone. The stone that was associated with Bear today is red jasper. Red jasper is a motivational stone. It helps you overcome things like procrastination or stagnation or blocks to your energy. And it's very much connected to the root chakra. We can see that in the red color. So it also is about starting down or continuing your projects with a firm foundation and a sense of groundedness so that you can have optimism about the outcome. And this helps you, motivate you to complete what you have started. Considering bear energy, think of the bear as a seeker of honey. And honey has a lot of spiritual meanings. We think of it like the sweetness of truth. And so to accomplish your goals and the dreams that you have, introspection is necessary. That means going within to find that truth. Now, the bear is a hibernator, and this is another indication of going within. The bear every person has the ability to quiet their mind and go to that place where there is what's called the eternal void. You have the ability to quiet and find the answers that you need in the silence if you can center and go within. This is called the Dream Lodge. It's the place where physical reality becomes an illusion in comparison to the expansiveness of eternity. So the eternal reality becomes more evident. And when we can go into that place, we can sit in spiritual counsel and receive the advice that we need in our current moment. And that is the power of the bear, to guide you within to that place, to lead you to that inner space where you can receive spiritual counsel. This is the bear, is the totem for visionaries, mystics, shamans, prophecy, people with these kinds of abilities. This would be also connected to the pineal gland, which is the seat of psychic energy within the brain. And bear is actually physically connected in a way to that pineal gland. So the bear, if we look at the anatomy, looking at the anatomy of the brain, if we were to take an overview image of the top of the head, the pineal gland sits in the center of the four lobes of the brain. So the south would be considered the forehead, north would be considered the back of the skull, the west would be the right brain, and the east would be the left brain. Bears are in the west, so that's the right brain, which is the intuitive side, the intuitive, creative, or you might say feminine energy side. To hibernate, the bear travels to the cave. The cave is the pineal gland in the center. And that's where to go when seeking answers or dreaming or hibernating. And then when spring comes, that is the time of awakening. We're coming into spring right now. So you may be coming into a time of awakening right now after a period of hibernation. So all seekers of the dream time, this is where that eternal space is, the place where there are spiritual visions. All seekers of the dream time walk a path of silence, which means calming the internal chatter and reaching that place of stillness, which allows you to channel through the pineal gland. So from the cave of the bear, you find your pathway to the dream lodge, and that the other higher levels of imagination and consciousness. So in choosing the bear as your guide, the power of knowing has invited you to enter into the silence and become acquainted with these abilities, become acquainted with that place, thinking of it as the dream lodge, so that your goals can become concrete realities. And that is the strength of having bear as your spirit guide. So to have this wonderful, powerful guide into the dream time, along with this red jasper stone, which gives you grounding and security, this is a very powerful time for you to do spiritual adventuring. Be inquisitive, be seeking, find, discover, experience. Find, discover, experience. Spend time in meditative states, spend time in silence, go within and follow your guide to that place of the dream time. Okay, I am going to pull some tarot cards now to get a little more guidance on why bear has come to your life at this time. And let's see what the context is surrounding this entrance of the bear. I had a period of time for a couple of years where I was having nightmares involving bears, being chased by bears. And so the message there is to not be afraid. to not be afraid of the spirit world. And so you may need some extra grounding and some extra assistance, you know, seeking a master or seeking someone to study with, or seeking a group or community that you trust to help you with these experiences. Can be a very good thing to do. My goodness, the cards are just popping out. Okay, wow. Okay, wow. All right, so we have much confirmation here of what we just said in the tarot cards. We begin at the beginning with the King of Acorns. And representing this is the horse with the keywords of optimism and innovation. Saying this is a time when you are empowered to travel forward, to forge ahead. And the horse is about free will and remembering as you journey through the spirit world, remembering that you always have your willpower and that protects you. And so you see these energy fields surrounding the horse, and it is this empowerment to charge ahead that is also protective forces surrounding the horse as well, as the horse is empowered to go forward. So seeing this makes me think of the Chariot card. Charging ahead. Okay. Charging ahead into what? Charging ahead into keywords, exploration, and discovery. And here we have the raccoon. Now remember, the raccoon is a nocturnal creature. The raccoon is known for being very sly and sneaky. And that is the spirit of going out and just exploring what's true, what's there, what is there for you to find, for you to know, for you to experience, because you're bringing this knowledge back with you. Now, as you are moving into a more spiritual existence, you're coming into this beautiful place. I just love the energy of this card. If you look at it closely, I hope you're picking up on all the colors. Let me see if I can brighten that up a little bit, maybe. Okay. I hope you're picking up on all those beautiful colors, as this is a card of peace and compassion. Okay. Let's see if we can do this better. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay. So this card is the Queen of Shells. It's very feminine energy. This would be like the Queen of Cups in the tarot, in the regular tarot deck. And remember that this is coming from all aspects, all thought, all emotion, all reactions from the Queen of Cups are coming from this place of eternal love. This is the place that you're going to find within yourself as you're journeying. You're going to come into this energy. You're coming into the energy of this Queen of Shells. Just look at all those beautiful colors and just look at the posture of the seal in the center here. And the posture is one that is just very graceful and soft and giving. And this is the kind of energy that you're going to be embracing. And as you embrace this energy, look at the powerful powerful indication of creativity that's here. Look at all the designs on the seal here. Look at all the beautiful growth surrounding the seal. And there's just going to be this tremendous, beautiful creative power within you. And then ultimately where this is taking you is into an awakening. And this here is represented by the burst of the peacock's tail. Into a renewal that brings enlightenment. And so we see very, very closely, looking very, very closely, that balance of the sun and the moon surrounding the corona that is around the peacock's head. See that burst of light, that starburst of light, this flourish of the peacock's tail. This is you flourishing in all the beauty of your true energy, your true spiritual awakening. And that is where you're headed. That's what you're heading into. And that's why your spirit guides are here to help you reach that state. So the bear is telling you, some people are, some people aren't, but if you do feel a fear of bears, be at peace. The bear is here to be a guiding spirit, to guide you into your own internal cave for a time of hibernation that brings you into union with your spirit guides, with your spiritual journey, and that takes you into this incredible place of soft, gentle, creative beauty and love and compassion that pours forth from you as you unify with your true spiritual self. All right, that concludes the reading for the bear card today. If you have enjoyed the reading, like, share, subscribe. These things help my channel to grow. My messages are given freely and with the hope that they will reach those who need them. And you can help me in that endeavor simply by hitting the like button or subscribing to the channel. Even leaving a comment below is helpful. Share your thoughts about the journey ahead. Have you been experiencing any dreamlike states have you had any interesting spiritual experiences lately? Feel free to share those in the comments below. I would love to hear about those experiences and sharing them. They're very interesting to me, as I'm a person who has studied the lucid dreaming and astral travel and had some experiences of my own there to share. So please share. I would love to hear it. Beyond that, if you're interested in a deeper reading, a more personal reading, especially regarding a more specific area of your life right now, then you may want to sign up for a personal reading. And I am doing personal readings at this time. You can follow the link to my Calendly page below or to my webpage in the description box below, and then you can sign up for readings there. Most of all, I'm so grateful that you stopped by and viewed this video. I hope that I have given you something of value, and I thank you for watching and hope to catch you in another video. For those of you who chose card number 3, the Otter, this reading is for you. Let's begin by looking at the stone. And the stone with Otter is the tiger's eye. It's a very beautiful and energetic stone, and it's known to combine sun and earth energy in a very powerful way. This is a stone that gives you courage. It also gives you protection. There was a time that soldiers would take this into battle as an emblem of protection because of its all-seeing eye. So tiger's eye brings you courage, protection, and also encouragement, and guides you to your creativity, creative forces from within. Okay. Now when we think about the otter medicine is about feminine energy. This does not mean gender. It's about the lessons that are held within feminine energy. Both men and women have female sides, or I should say feminine sides. The otter represents balanced feminine energy. And in its life, an otter is very attentive and caring of its young, and it will play for hours in performing all kinds of playful activity in the water, like acrobatics. It lives on land, but it will live near water and spends a lot of time in the water. So it has two elements, the elements of earth and water together, both of which are considered feminine energy. So the otter is very at home in both of these elements, which is where we get the idea of balance. The form of the otter is very graceful and sleek, and with the playful kind of personality that the otter has, this is considered a very personification of feminine energy and what it feels and looks like. An otter doesn't really slow down very much. They're always on the move, and they're very, very curious. They're very much led by curiosity. Otter's not a fighter. They won't start a fight unless they're attacked first. They're just joyful creatures. They're joyful and adventuresome, and kind of has this assumption that all the other creatures are friendly too, unless it proven otherwise. Their character traits, they have a kind of beauty. They remind us of the side of ourselves that allows other people to come and share space with us without preconception or suspicion, because otters have this very trusting nature. There's no jealousy or cattiness here, because this is the feminine divine. This is feminine in balance. The jealousy or cattiness, this is an untrusting feminine. But trusting feminine energy is not like that. It's sisterhood. It's finding contentment in sharing energy, sharing good fortune, sharing space and time. There's no need for jealousy, because everyone's accomplishments are helpful to the tribe as a whole. And otter understands this collective effort. And so a person with the otter totem feels joy for others as they succeed, rather than the jealousy. So part of otter's medicine is the freedom to love without jealousy, the joy of loving other people as much as yourself, the joy of truly being happy for others. And so if otter is coming into your energy at this time, it's time to examine your feminine energy, your feminine side, and how are you feeling about sharing the bounty of your life with others? It may be good for you to have a goal of opening up to sharing more, to feeling that unity of spirit more often with other people. This means no more jealousy, no more anger or fear being replaced, because the jealousy and the anger come from that fear. And you kind of need to keep an eye on your ego there and see if you can open up to total trust. I will acknowledge that in this day and age, this is a tall order. It is very difficult now to trust other people. It seems that betrayals have become a common way of social interacting, and that can make it very difficult to not be guarded. But remember that the otter reacts to how people respond to their generosity or their openness and their kindness. If you are opening to someone who uses that opening to attack, do not give them another chance. That is not what this is about. Definitely recognize that as a predator type and give them no more of your time. Another thing that Otter tells you is you may be under too much stress. When is the last time you did something silly or fun? When is the last time you enjoyed something the way that a child would, with childlike energy? Being able to be playful, being able to spend a few hours of the day where you're not worrying. When you are trying to achieve in life, there is an ego energy that is going to be constantly pushing and driving. But you need to remember and remind your ego too that the way forward needs moments of rest and respite, because those moments are when you recharge, and those moments of recharging are when the best inspirations may come. And so inspiration and creativity are needed along the driven path. These moments of respite are needed, the moments where you just drop your worries. You can pick them up again, but because I'm not saying that you should abandon your care or concern for what's happening around you in your life, but I am saying that your mind and body and soul need a vacation from that from time to time. And being under a constant umbrella of worry is actually going to work against you rather than help you. And though our ego response is to keep driving forward, the true wise way through stressful times is finding the moments to play and forget the stress just for a few moments, a couple of hours in a day. If you are a regular viewer of my videos, then you may have heard me use the symbology of the river. And the river represents collective consciousness. The river is that state of flow wherein all knowledge can be obtained. And so the otter, remember there are river otters who are very much at home in the river. And they are very much, they enjoy the river water. They play. That's where they go to play. And they like to dive deep down and pick up little treasures from the bottom of the riverbed. And so diving deep into the river of consciousness, what gems will you find there? What treasures can you bring back to the surface to carry forward into your life? Otter is telling you to allow time for this kind of playful journeying. We can become so serious about our spirituality, and that's okay. That's part of how we approach things, but don't forget to allow yourself to be a little playful too. Remember to protect yourself. Remember to shield yourself psychically, but why not approach your spirituality with a playful sort of energy and go exploring and have fun doing it. Enjoy the journey. And that is another thing that Otter is telling you to do. And so in so doing, becoming relaxed in that river, becoming able to be in a playful, creative state whilst in that river, you become receptive and you're able to receive the guidance, the wisdom, the creative inspiration. And this is the gem, the treasure that you can carry back with you. Okay, so now I am going to pull some tarot cards, and we're just looking at the current situation. What has brought Otter to you? Why is Otter currently in your energy field? Oh, wow. Okay, so we got 2 right away. Whoa. Okay, we're going to take a close look at those in a minute. But I did want to take a moment to say, let's consider the spirit of Otter working together with the Tiger's Eye. Remember what Tiger's Eye does? It gives you a powerful protection. Okay, it gives you powerful grounding energy, but also the power of the sun to be enlightened, and also courage to just go forth and explore. Courage also to express. When you bring back those treasures, what will you do with them? So motivational energy to express yourself. Okay, and we have your tarot cards here. I'm going to see if I can give you a good view of them. This is a powerful story. So for those of you who chose Otter, you're going to be, I think, quite happy with your choice. Here, let's take a look. First 2 cards that jumped out together. So we're going to look at them together, and what that says, what this says together is so powerful. And I hope that you're receiving the power of this message. Because what came out together is the shaman and the star. Now, for those who are unaware, the shaman is the medicine man or medicine woman who would tend to the spiritual needs of the tribe. Shaman is keywords: divine wisdom, spiritual power. A shaman was a traveler into other realms who would bring back medicine, medicine and guidance for members of the tribe. This would be spiritual or physical medicine, and the shaman was also a physical doctor, a physical medical doctor, but tended to the emotional, spiritual, psychological needs of the tribe. So not only do you have shaman power, which is these abilities to travel into other realms, like astral traveling or other dimensional realms, and bring back wisdom with you, like that otter diving in the river, right? But you also are the star, which is the adept at peace and healing. This is such the word that's coming to me is anointing. This is such a powerful anointing. If you have not been aware of your path until now, then, darling, know that you're here to tend to a spiritual purpose. You're here to help others tend to their spiritual purpose. A shaman is a spiritual guide. And you're not just a shaman, you're a very powerful shaman for that to be coupled with the star energy. Okay. Now, anyone doing spiritual work will know that a large part of empowering yourself to do it is to confront the shadow. The shadow has followed the shaman and the star, and that's not a big surprise, because shadow work is a large part of what a shaman will do as they're working to be able to be this spiritual guide. It's self-empowerment that allows you to follow your ambition, okay? Because the shadow side of ourselves is usually what holds us back. The shadow side is that part of the ego that is trying to protect you by telling you, oh, you can't do that. You're not good enough to do that. Or oh, come on, you're not powerful enough to do that. That's not authentic for you. The ego thinks it's protecting you by doing this, but it's not. It's holding you down. And that's your shadow side, which tries to talk you out of what you're here to do. Now, bear in mind, this is a part of your mind that believes it's protecting you by giving you these messages. And when we do shadow work, what we do is we kind of create an open conversation with the subconscious mind and say to it, thank you, but I don't need your help with this right now. I'm okay to go ahead. And so you become a master of your fears. And so we have Coyote sitting here looking very comfortable and very, very much in a powerful pose. And Coyote is known as a trickster. And that's the shadow mind, that trickster mind that's trying to protect you, but it is misguided. And then ultimately where you're headed is the 10 of Shells. This is a blessed life of well-being. Blessings and well-beings are the keywords on the card. Excuse me. Here we see this beautiful pelican who's so proud of her shell collection. Having picked up those shells probably throughout the day. When you see a 10 of Cups, this means emotional, psychological, mental fulfillment in the work that you do. Okay. And there is abundance. There is abundance. But consider that abundance may simply be having what you need to get by and living in harmony with your spiritual calling. Living in a way that life feels beautiful and creative and fulfilled. And this is maybe something we all strive for. I want to guard against expecting, to be rich and famous, because it's the wrong thing to focus on and it could undermine your work. Who knows if that may come? Many blessings are here, but it's not what to aim for. The aim of the work is the spiritual guidance that you will do for others. Okay, what an exciting reading to receive. This concludes the reading for the Otter Spirits of today. I hope that you have enjoyed the reading, and if you had, like, share, subscribe. These things help my channel to grow. I'm happy to give these messages out freely, and it truly does bring meaning into my life to do that, and I am truly so happy to do it. But my hope is that the messages will reach as many people as possible, to reach those who truly need it. Also, let's share in the comments below. Are you experiencing spiritual growth at this time? What kind of experiences are you having? I'm curious. I'd love to know. And I hope that we can get a community going where we support each other in our spiritual experiences that we're having and in the excitement that we have surrounding them. And I'm talking about when we astral travel or have lucid dreams or have even just synchronistic or psychic experiences happen to us as we're going about our day. Let's get excited about the existence of the spiritual realm. Okay, and if you're looking for a more specific guidance, looking to get more specifically into a certain aspect of your life, then you may want to choose a personal reading. And I am offering personal readings at this time. You can see the link to my Calendly page in the description box below, and there's also a link to my personal webpage. Most of all, I'm so grateful that you stopped by. I'm so grateful that you've taken the time to view the video, and I hope it has brought something valuable to you. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you in another video. For those of you who chose the 4th card, or whale, this is your reading. And we're going to start the reading by looking at this stone. This stone is light green jade. And light green jade is a stone of prosperity. It leads your life into prosperity, and not only just for yourself, but also for family. So if you're wishing for a happy family, this stone leads you there. The stone is also a great protector. It is aware of any evil in your environment and informs you of it and protects you from evil along the way. But it leads you into your happiest future and gives you the courage to find your truest talents and abilities to help lead you there. And that is what the light green jade is about. So now let's consider the whale. A whale is a very ancient creature, and its existence goes in the deep, and in the deep of the oceans. The whale can carry all the history of Mother Earth. And there is some lore that says it was whales were placed here by the ancients from the dog star Sirius. Whale has a great memory of the history of this planet and of the people that have been on it. It has witnessed Earth's changes over the centuries and the millennia. If you have whale medicine, if you are drawn to the whale and it is in your energy field, then you are likely sensitive to sound and sound frequencies. So if you are listening to Tibetan bowls, the singing of a Tibetan bowl or a singing bowl of any kind, or certain tonal noises, you may find that these actually help you tune in to ancient knowledge. So you may want to experiment with that when you have moments where you would be meditating. I know there's plenty of YouTube videos that offer different frequencies of sound. Forgive me. I think there's a lot of incense. So there are many YouTube videos that offer different frequencies of sound that you can listen to, and you can experiment with those to find what works for you. It will be different for everyone, and it will be unique, the ones that do and don't work for you. All right, so whale coming in. If you don't know this already or haven't discovered this within yourself already, then whale is bringing these gifts to you. These are the gifts of being psychically developed and telepathic. So whales communicate on frequencies of sound. The knowledge is on frequencies of sound, but your telepathic ability would be on frequencies of thought. And when you can match a person's frequency, you will be able to pick up on their thoughts. Now, it often happens with this particular gift that it awakens at a later stage. This gift awakens when it is time. When it is time to use the stored records or Akashic records. And so there is a work that you are here to do that involves access to the Akashic records, and you're awakening unto the gift that will allow you to do that at this time. So in much the same way that you can tune into the frequencies for this ancient knowledge, or to pick up on telepathic information, so too can you turn into the universal mind and Great Spirit. You will find yourself knowing things without knowing how you know them. And that means that you're getting information from Great Spirit. Now, as you begin to put this information together, it will start to make sense why you're receiving certain impressions. So you're going to find that there is a reason for it. Look for patterns in what you receive, in what knowledge you receive. These may be protective patterns. They may be teaching you something or showing you something that you need to know. With whale in your energy field, it is also teaching you that you can use sound and sound frequencies as a healing method. So if you are feeling distorted, if you are feeling out of balance, again, going through those videos on YouTube that play music at different frequencies or play different frequencies of sound, you may want to research into different frequencies of sound. Actually, I do have a book about that, so if you hang in on the reading, I'm going to bring that book out and we'll talk about frequencies a little bit more. If you tune into certain frequencies of sound, they can heal the aspects of yourself that need healing. You may also benefit from drumming, like the shamanic drum. Drumming is like the universal heartbeat. You know how a baby hears the heartbeat of its mother and it calms and relaxes the baby. That particular rhythm of sound is something that brings us into union. And so listening to a drumming beat, a regular repeated drumming beat, can be helpful or healing energy for you. So you're being asked, you're actually being called. With the whale entering into your energy field, you're being called at this time to become aware of this gift within yourself, if you haven't been aware of it up until now, and to start to use that gift. If a long time ago, before humans had language that they spoke, they used hand signs. And that means most of what was communicated silently. And that means that at the time, the sounds that filled the air were the unique cries of the creatures of nature. Humans don't really have our own unique cry or call. But you are called upon to find yours. What is your unique sound? What is your unique cry that identifies you and only you? You may be using your voice to make this noise to release tension or emotion. You're going to come into using the Akashic records. There may be a calling there to help the greater humanity, but there is also a calling to understand yourself, to go into your own DNA, your own coded history, and understand your origins. In understanding that, you begin to understand what makes you unique. In the ways in which you are unique are the ways in which you can contribute. And so, If you have chosen whale, then you have chosen a pathway, or you're being called onto this pathway of great psychic gifts. Now, remember the stone accompanied with the whale is giving you the courage and the prosperity to do that. It's leading you into great fortune in your future and protecting your path along the way to get there. Okay, so now what I would like to do is pull some tarot cards so that we can get an idea, a better understanding of why whale has come to you at this time and where this working with whale energy might take you. Now, if you want to work with this particular spirit animal or any particular spirit animal, some ways to do that are just to have pictures of that animal around your house, or to have like a little thing on your keychain, or have a necklace with a whale on it. Just honor whale in some way in your home. A magnet on your fridge. A little statue on your desk, on a bookshelf. Something like that. Something just to honor the presence of whale, and to acknowledge the presence of whale. Little bits from the ocean can also be an energy to work with. So to honor whale and to honor whale's environment, remember to do that work with sound. Hang in there after the tarot reading. I'm going to get that book out so we can talk about sound frequencies and what they mean. I do not have those meanings memorized, so I'm going to turn to the book to help you to know that. And I'll help you with what book I'm using too. It's a book that I like to turn to. It's very knowledgeable in a very grounded way. Okay. So far, my readings have had 4 cards, and so I do believe we're trying to get 2 more. And the 4 cards tend to tell a story each time of the pathway that you're going on. Oh boy, I'm not good with spiders, but there we go. It doesn't mean it's bad, it's just me personally. I have a thing about spiders. Okay. I do believe we have 1 more card to find. There it is. There it is. Okay. All right, now I'm bringing the camera up close because I want you to see what I see, because there's a story here, and I hope that you were able to put it together as well. So, the first card to come out is the 3 of crystals. Let's see if we can change our lighting a little bit here. Okay, good. You can see now. See the crystals there. Now, what do we know about crystals is that they're very sensitive to vibration. We see this infinity symbol the lemniscate. Now that's the word that was escaping me. The lemniscate on the back of this bee. And this is to symbol connection to the eternal energies, or the internal ancient collective wisdom. We see this energy, this random sort of energy flow that's flowery, but it's flowing around, and this is like the river representing universal consciousness. And our keywords here are collaboration, productivity. You are to find others like yourself. So you are going to be tuning into sound. Sound and frequency of sound is going to be very important to you. You're very sensitive to this. Think of the sensitive sensory receivers of the bee. Those wings and the hairs on the bee, extremely sensitive to different vibrations. And it helps them to navigate and to find nectar. And this is a very intense sensitivity to this vibrational flow, and that if you have not yet discovered in yourself, you are going to be coming into and developing and discovering within yourself. And your key into that is the frequency of sound. Yes, music could be part of that too. I heard someone asking, is that music? Is that also music? Yes, it is. It is also music. And you'll find that certain songs have a majority of a certain frequency of sound, and so certain songs may be more appealing to you. Now, these two cards came out together at the beginning of this layout, and so I feel that they work together. We have this sensitivity of to frequency, as we know that this is what crystals have too, the sensitivity of frequency, and collaboration, productivity. So you are to find others like yourself and work together with them. There is some kind of combined effort that is going to bring about very important results for the future of humanity. Remember that Jadestone said it wasn't just a prosperous future for yourself, but for your family. And in this case, that extends to all of humanity. Now, the High Priestess is an adept. And what the High Priestess does is she bridges heaven and earth, and she brings heavenly knowledge into the earthly realm. And so this is the combined work that you're doing, is to bring in not only that knowledge, but those frequencies, to bring the higher realm frequencies into the dense earth. We're going to start lifting the earth up. And this is the work that you are part of, that you are going to be part of with others, together, working together to make that happen. Remember that the beehive is a collective working towards a particular goal, and that is also how this is going to be accomplished. Now, I don't even like pictures of spiders, but I'm going to get over that for a moment because this is a very blessed card. This is the Nine of Crystals, security and abundance. Now, there's a reason why the spider is here, and the spider is here because of the spirit and the gift of spider, which is something you may also want to work with. Oh, okay. If you are like me and spiders just kind of creep you out, and you don't want to put a picture of a spider on the wall or on your mantle, then think about a weaving, something that you weave, like a dream catcher, or something like needlework that you would do. And this can also honor spider energy. So why is the spider here to represent security and abundance? It's because of the way the spider goes about it. It's because of the way the spider catches their meal. They make their web and they do it beautifully, gracefully, perfectly, in alignment with frequencies of sound, believe it or not. That is how a spider knows how to make its web. It's very sensitive to sound frequencies. Oh, the synchronicity here in this reading. Okay, so the spider weaves a perfectly geometrical web and then waits patiently, very wisely, knowing that what is needed will come. So focus is not on the outcome, but on doing the work, doing it with grace, doing it with precision, doing the work well, with faith and patience and the wisdom that what is needed will come. That is how true security and abundance are achieved. Finally, the star. The star is, well, shining bright for all to see. Finally, that is the energy that you're coming into is one who shines brightly, filled with this divine energy, which you are going to be channeling to bring into the earth the high frequency vibrations. You will not be alone in this. There will be other stars there with you, but you will be a star who shines brightly, and you are going to have a tremendous healing power to both heal yourself, heal others, and heal the land and heal earth. Remember that in the traditional tarot card, there is a feminine aspect because we all have feminine energy who pours water onto the land and into a body of water. And this is the pouring out of a healing energy. Water being known as a healing source. So she's pouring this healing energy onto the earth and onto the ocean. She's pouring a healing energy over all of nature. And that is why she bridges land and water. And so through what you are able to spiritually receive, will you be able to pour forth this beautiful healing energy. And that is your purpose, my friend. And it is a beautiful high purpose. There are multiple ways in which this can physically manifest. And you will find a way that is right for you, knowing that you're not alone in this high calling. There are other stars to work along with you, and you're going to do this together, and you're going to help make the earth a happier, cleaner, safer place to be. All right, now that concludes your reading for the whale energy, but I am going to get that information on sound, so hold on a moment and I'll be right back. Okay, so the book that I'm referencing is The Subtle Body, an Encyclopedia of Your Energetic Anatomy by Cindy Dale. This truly is, as the quote says on the book, this truly is extraordinary. If you want to really understand spiritual energy, this is the book to get. Okay, let me find the passage I'm looking for. All right, so there are a couple of passages from this book that I'm going to share with you to help you with your exploration of the use of sound as a spiritual tool and as a means of healing and or even exploring your abilities. Okay. See if I can even get you to see what I see. Hold on. Trying to share. Okay. Okay, does it all start with sound? Like Hans Jenny, many shamans of yesteryear believed that sound was the origin of everything. They knew how to coalesce pictures of reality out of sound, even to effect genetic healing. This was done by many Amazonian shamans who created three-dimensional images out of sound as part of their doctoring. Sound has been considered so primordial that one of its scales, called the solfeggio, was kept secret for hundreds of years. The solfeggio is a 6-note scale and is also nicknamed the creational scale. Traditional Indian music calls this scale the saptak, or 7 steps, and relates each note to a chakra. These 6 frequencies and their related effects are as follows. Do, 396 Hz, liberating guilt and fear. Re, 417 Hz, undoing situations and facilitating change. Mi, 528 Hz, transformation and miracles, DNA repair. Fa, 639 Hz, connecting relationships. Sol, 741 Hz, awakening intuition. La, 852 Hz, returning to spiritual order. Now I'm going to show you this chart. I'm going to bring it close. Maybe you can take a screenshot of it or take a moment to write it down. I don't know. Okay, I'm having some trouble holding the book up, but I'm going to hold it for a moment that you can go ahead and make a note if you want to. If you don't want to, feel free to fast forward, skip ahead. Okay. I'll try to keep that in focus as I keep going here. Mi has actually been used by molecular biologists to repair genetic defects. Some researchers believe that sound governs the growth of the body, as Dr. Michael Isaacson and Scott Klimek teach in a sound healing class at Normandale College in Minneapolis. Dr. Alfred Tomatis believes that the ear's first in utero function is to establish the growth of the rest of the body. Sound apparently feeds the electrical impulses that charge the neocortex. High-frequency sounds energize the brain, creating what Tomatis calls charging sounds. Low-frequency sounds drain energy, and high-frequency sounds attract energy. Throughout all of life, sound regulates the sending and receiving of energy, even to the point of creating problems. People with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder listen too much with their bodies, processing sound through bone conduction rather than the ears. They are literally too high in sound. Some scientists go a step further and suggest that sound not only affects the body but also the DNA, actually stimulating the DNA to create information signals that spread throughout the body. Harvard-trained Dr. Leonard Horowitz has actually demonstrated that DNA emits and receives phonons and photons, the electromagnetic waves of sound and light. As well, 3 Nobel laureates in medical research have asserted that the primary function of DNA is not to synthesize proteins, but to perform bioacoustic and bioelectrical signaling. Okay, now I am going to skip ahead to some more discussion of sound in a later section. Okay. We'll start here. We're going to talk about a little bit more about the frequencies. Appropriate music or sounds can help restore the natural vibrations of a living being and therefore health. as long as these vibrations resonate with the natural vibration of that being. Classical music that beats at 60 to 90 beats a minute, for instance, calms the heart, and through entrainment soothes the entire body. Information on sound and healing is featured in every section of this book. There are dozens of energetically based sound therapies. This list by Jonathan Goldman, a respected sound therapist and author, outlines a few of them. Music and imagery, music therapy, cymatic therapy, tapes with specifically designed frequencies, the electronic ear, which is special music filtered through headphones to treat a variety of conditions, toning and overtoning, harmonic resonance, bioacoustics, hemisync, which balances the hemispheres of the brain and induces altered states, mantric chanting, tuning forks, vibroacoustic beds, chairs, etc., which would be specially designed equipment that projects music into your body. Everything in the world functions at an optimal frequency or has its own sound, even a virus. When a person is operating at optimal health, his or her tones are attuned with each other and aligned with the external world. Any stress-related condition, an emotion, negative belief or event, or pathogen can be labeled as an invading sound or frequency that disrupts the body's natural frequency or vibrations. If the body or those parts of the body, including the energetic structures, are unable to attune the out-of-tune frequency to its personal frequency, the invading frequency takes over and eventually causes disease. Sound therapists work in a number of ways, but ultimately must diagnose or determine the invading frequency. They must then determine which frequencies will eliminate the invading force, strengthen the person's natural frequencies, or compel the two forces, the invading and the individual's frequencies, to work together in a healthy way, or in other words, harmonize. Besides paying attention to pitch or harmonics, a sound therapist also addresses tempo or rhythm, which is measured in beats per minute or BPM. Generally, a tempo of 40 to 60 BPM is calming, while a tempo of 80 to 120 BPM is stimulating. One of the most important ways music and sounds affect the body is by altering brain waves. The brain has 4 basic waves, as discussed in Chapter 7. Beta, which is 14 hertz and above, your normal waking state. Alpha, which is 8 to 13 hertz, dreaming and light meditation. Theta, which is 4 to 7 hertz, inward focus and transitions. And delta, which is 5 to 3 hertz, for deep sleep. Okay. So those are the frequencies of the brain. The brain is particularly responsive to certain sounds, depending on pitch and tempo, among other factors. Different frequencies of sound entrain the brain to different brain waves. For instance, a drum beat, frequently used by shamans during healing, typically operates at 240 to 270 beats per minute and shifts brain waves from beta to theta. So from the normal waking state into inward focus and transition. In the early 1970s, Harold Oster discovered a binaural beat or rhythm, when a different frequency of sound is played in each ear through stereophones such as 100 hertz and 109 hertz, but the brain perceives a 9 hertz frequency, which provides relief, pain relief, stress reduction, and visioning, among other benefits. Oops. That's all right. Okay, now I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here and just go to another chart, which talks about different musical notes. And these might be important to listen to for their varying purposes and reasons. Okay. And then I hope I'm not boring you. Okay. Let's start with this figure at the bottom here. I don't know if you can see it, but... Okay, the whole note A governs spirit, and its function is to attune human to divine nature, the human self to the spiritual self. The whole note of B governs the mind and attunes lower and middle mind to the higher mind. The whole note of C governs feelings and attunes human feelings to spiritual feelings. The whole note D governs body, attunes the physical body, condition, and material needs to the spiritual body, gifts, and manifesting abilities. The whole note E governs love and attunes whatever is out of love to unconditional divine love. The whole note F governs miracles and attunes any aspect of one's being to the spiritual forces needed at that time, breaking through duality into the miraculous. The whole note of G governs grace, delivers grace, which is divine love and divine power, to the situation at hand. Okay, so if you were not understanding or were not sure about the reality of using musical therapy or the true ability, oh my goodness, hold on a moment. My goodness. Okay, there we go. There we go. We're almost back in order. Oh my goodness. I just have to kind of cut this part of the video out as I fix my table. Okay, there we go. We're doing all right. All right, now. If you had any doubt to that, I hope this helps to clear it up. If you want to understand more and read more about it, I strongly suggest this book, The Subtle Body, an Encyclopedia of Your Energetic Anatomy by Cindy Dale. The information, it almost made me angry when I found this book, because this book was published, first published, let's see, 2009. Okay. But it talks about research going back so many centuries, which is to say that this knowledge has been around for a very long time and could be so helpful. And it makes me so angry that it's marginalized. You see very well-trained physicians, very well-trained scientists who have proven these methods work. The fact that it's not in our mainstream education is infuriating. That's just my personal opinion. But you don't have to agree. But this is knowledge I wish I had always had. I wish I had always had through my whole life. And I think if you're going to take a spiritual path seriously, that having this basic knowledge is a wonderful first start. It's like a primer. It's spiritual energy 101. Okay, so getting off my little soapbox there, stepping down from that, I hope that what I've shared with you will help you to embrace the idea of using notes, musical notes and frequencies of sound to help you explore your spiritual abilities and energy and path. And I hope that it will help you to also provide healing to yourself, and from healing yourself, learning how to help heal others, and to make that perhaps a part of some kind of practice or something that you can do collaboratively with others, just to help the earth and people at this time to come into a higher state, a more graceful state of being. Okay, and that truly is the end of your reading today. And I'm just gonna say thank you so much for watching, and thank you for considering the message that has come across in this reading. So if you have enjoyed the reading, then I'm asking you to please like, share, and subscribe. This doesn't cost you anything. I'm providing these messages for free, and it makes me so happy to do that. I know that the people who need the most help are often the ones who don't have the money to pay for it. And so I'm very happy to put something out there for free that is offering support and in some way. And that is a very important mission of mine, to do that, to put these messages of support out there. And so if you do take that moment to put a comment down below, maybe sharing some of your spiritual experiences, I would like to begin a community of sharing what we have witnessed or experienced that helps to validate the reality of a spiritual existence. It gets me very excited, whether this is something that occurred during lucid dreaming, during meditation, or even just synchronistic experiences that happen or occur as you go about daily life, psychic moments or telepathic moments. These are the kinds of stories I would like to share. And maybe I'm thinking about trying to start a community where we share these stories together. But for now, simply sharing those stories in the comments below would be helpful. And if you share, then I know you're interested, and that would help me, encourage me to start that community going. If you are looking for more personal guidance, if you're looking for answer to a more specific question, then you may want to get a personal reading. I am doing personal readings, and those are available via my Calendly page, which you can find the link in the description below. Most of all, even if all you do is view the video, I'm so grateful for you coming by and receiving this message. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you in another video.